right, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the warm welcome. Welcome to you. Thank you for having us here. Today, we want to show you something about a project that we did together, Lufthansa and Materna, in the area of rapid prototyping, rapid visual prototyping for future airport services. And let me just give you a quick overview what we're going to do, because as I've seen the other slots of the other panels, today we're going to show something different, as we were going to show our solution live on stage. So you're going to expect something to really see what we did in the project. First, we start with the concept study that we did for the future airport services, and then we really dig into the project that we did in VR full that the Lufthansa is now using. Okay, so virtual reality gives us the opportunity to reach out to our customers and clients and to give them the opportunity to really imagine new things, imagine new technology, and use this technology in different areas. So we are very much in the area of education, so we help our big customers in the industry, for example, in building big machines, in building digital twins that are machines that we rebuild in virtual reality that not just only look like the real one, but they work as they were the real machines. And this is exactly something that we did with Lufthansa for the future airport services in the areas of self-backdrop, and how this service is implemented and how we use this technology, you will see later on in the presentation. So we really work with our customers to help to solve their problems in the area of real estate, for example. So we help selling big real estate projects. We do a lot of different things in these areas, and today we want to show you this kind of implementation for rapid prototyping. So what we did there is we started really by implementing a one-to-one model of airport terminals, and we started with Frankfurt Terminal 1. That we did, I think it was in December last year. That was the start of the project. And now we're implementing first-class lounges, and you were going to see that. And then we started implementing the processes, and then we started implementing a live configurator where you are able to place these machines. You'll place the people that are walking around of the terminals, and all these linings that you need to have the queuing structures. And we gave Lufthansa the ability to really check out different kind of scenarios and start up with an empty terminal, and then start populated with different machines, different people walking around, and then use this, what they build in virtual reality in the process later on, to discuss that with the decision makers, to discuss with customers whether they understand the process, whether they could whether they have any ideas how to optimize the process, how to speed up process. And that's what we really did in virtual reality, by giving the opportunity to build different scenarios, plan these scenarios, save them, and then go with different people in the scenarios and talk about the pros and the cons, and then step forward. And this is a really speed up in the process for Lufthansa for the internal development. And this is actually the point where I stop and I give over to Stefan Kapactsis, and he will talk about what we did. And we start with with a short movie of the service center of the future, and then we really go into the live implementation. Over to you. Thank you.
Thanks, Andreas. Well, where we come from in business development and product development at Lufthansa is always very mobile, very based on prototypes, beta tests, new apps, and then we distribute them internally first, most of the time, to get some feedback in prototyping. But as we stated in on-site development for terminal developments, as lounge building projects, or the new generation of airport machines, check-in machines, or the backdrop machines, everything that's really with hardware, there's no such thing as prototyping. Of course, you can always put some CAD files or something and look at new furniture, even in virtual reality. But how about new concepts that actually affect people and that affect processes and our customers? So one of the first projects we did was actually to get a space out of a scribble, which of course you can distribute all over all stations and tell people what's the plan and how a service center, you might know ticket centers at airports where sometimes there's a long queue. If we have disruption or irregularities, then there's a long queue through the airport, and we want to change that. So it's not only a building project, it's a process project. And how do we get this close to people and close the gaps between employees and planning teams? And the movie we are going to show you is actually one of the answers we're trying to achieve. We built this prototype in virtual space so that we can actually reach out to everybody affected by that and discuss the processes that are coming with the change in that infrastructural changes. And I think the best one is just to jump into the movie. Which one? This? Great. Let me show. Just a few words about this, because that's actually a virtual space we created together with Materna TMT. And but what we are going to do this is apply this to the project actually that's building that space, because it has a huge impact on everybody involved, as I said. You can imagine that there's no concept of a queuing anymore for any passenger that needs help. And passengers as well as managers as well as employees have questions about the processes that will be reached out to them. So for example, they will ask, how do I steer the queue? And what's my new role in terms of supported self-services? So we can discuss with everybody, and we really experience this in the project already. If they put on the glass, they look into that, the real questions come. Where do I stand as an employee? What do I do? How do I approach? Because there's a non-queuing concept anymore. Actually, that's a world premiere, because from Lufthansa side, we didn't show that to anybody else yet. And I'm very happy that we made this as a real living prototype, actually, that's used in projects for discussions, for alignments, even for board decisions. So it was a very fast implementation, and thanks to your team, actually, we are applying that one. And we will see how we will go further from here. The next project, actually, we are looking at is something you... Well, yeah. So the next one is the Terminal 1, as Andreas said. And we visualized, or Materna visualized the whole terminal in Frankfurt terminal, because the next generation of machines will come. So how do I get an idea of where to place the machines, how to talk to our airport partner, if it's okay from the processes. So everything that's built is a visualization adaptation, and every user that looks at or tries this one can really walk through the terminal and experience the process. And we will just show right now in a very live demo, actually, that we can explain how a new back-tag printing and backdrop process will work. I will actually show this once we are in that team. It's already there. So welcome to Frankfurt. The idea was the very same. How do we get a close contact to everybody involved without just planning for an implementation project, for a large-scale implementation of new machines, which might even then has a real drawback to the customer experience? Are you there? Okay. So we approach the new generation of machines. You don't have to check in here anymore. These are tagging machines. And logistically, it's a very important step to take out the back tag printing for your baggage from the backdrop, because the machine that actually takes the self-service machine that actually takes the baggage is the bottleneck. So by taking out the back tag printer, you can have multiple people creating this back tag and then putting it on your baggage, and we can also show this. So Andreas, we have this interactive menu, which really makes a big flexibility for everybody in the planning project. We can show the process here. We can create and populate scenarios. This is the boarding card, for example, and this is how it works. Actually, I would like to have everybody a mobile boarding pass, not a printed one, but that's easy to simulate in the VR anyway. So there's the back tag, and if people from other airports where we didn't install this as a prototype are actually questioning the thing, how does it work, where does it stand, how's the user interaction, we can show everything in virtual space. People can experience that, and we really experienced in the process that the acceptance goes very fast. Everybody has the real questions right now. It's not abstract, it's real concrete. So the simulation of the backdrop process is there. And the user interaction on the screen, it's really nothing to push anymore. There's really, you just get your receipt, which you already get pushed to your app, so you don't need it, you can just drop it, Andreas. Yeah. So that is one aspect. Show how the process works, how the machine works, but then the implementation comes. Where's the machine actually placed? And there's a good feature. Did you show, I just turned around, did you show the level change? So we have a level menu like in a gaming surroundings, where you can actually save actual setups from implementations at the airport to where the decision might not be taken yet. And we have two options. Every consultants love to show 2 or 3 options, and we can do this in the virtual space actually and change the menu. We are also looking forward to try to simulate more in terms of how many passengers will be, different scenarios in the picture, in the movie I showed before. What if the space is full with people? How is the experience then? And in terms of how do we do a setup at the airport, maybe you can just approach the fast backdrop again, Andreas. Yeah, you can flexibly change the location, copy the objects, delete the objects, and yeah, you can delete it, and then do this as a setup. And if you go towards the backdrop again, Andreas, just move to the machines. I can see something here. If you turn around, Andreas, you can see that our project team actually designed one of the machines facing backwards towards the machine. And this might cause problems. This was a feedback from a station manager, so we also have to work with tensors. I really like this item, this feature. We can add the tensors for the lining. The lining is always, you know, everything is a good plan until the customer comes, and then he queues from where he wants. So sometimes we need this lining, and we can do this. We can now easily change the position also. If we touch one of the linings, we can easily go there with the right hand and then just remove one of the stands and put it somewhere else. Yeah. Maybe you can just show how to move a tensor. I think that's really, yeah. So this is what we would do actually in the real world to show, is it like this, is it like that? Since we have a night flight ban in Frankfurt, we can do that at night. Normally there's always a 24-hour business, so this is very good in virtual reality. And then there's the discussion, do we need guided services? So we need some stand, we need some signs, and we can create this, and we can easily change it, the position. And maybe we can go to the premier hall, actually, in the upper part. There's also a new project. We have a third one going around, which is actually the premium first class check-in hall. And this is how it looks today. We are also having some architectural scribbles of how we think this new airport experience should look like. And in order to start this project, we can easily design how we think it is by just change it in a way of this is the before and this is the after. And if we do this with stakeholders that are actually in the decision-making process, we can easily discuss things, note it down, and then create a new scenario for the next time. And it's not with mails, it's nothing with, we just create a video, send it to anybody to understand how we think it should be, and then everybody has some meaning about it and some thoughts on it, and it gives its 2 cents. So we are very flexible, and we really made this approach to move our prototyping approaches towards hardware and terminal features and services. Oh, also recycling, very well. Yeah.
Okay.
So
it's almost time.
Hmm?
It's good.
That's good.
Okay.
Yeah. We're also looking at our different hubs in our network now to expand this service, get another color, get another airline for that. And actually, since we did this, there were a lot of questions internally at Lufthansa. Oh, can we apply this to that process, or can we use it here? So what I really like is that you show it once into one project to maybe use it or not. And there's someone just, by accident listening to it, talking to someone else, and then they approach us actually and say, hey, couldn't we do this in the cabin? And of course, cabin design is a long time that everything like seats has been designed yet, but processes on board never touched so far. And then, of course, there's the next step into education, but we're looking ahead.
Okay. Hopefully, I think that you got a good idea and a really close-up impression of what we did, and the live demonstration, I think, showed very good what we can do in the area of virtual reality prototyping and how Lufthansa is taking this approach and bringing it together with us to a new level. And actually, I think we have 2 minutes for questions if you have some far. So actually, that's what we do. We build these full virtual environments and then help with other media like movie, for example, to really spread the idea throughout a worldwide company, and that really, really speeds up the process.